strengths of Nebraska Wesleyan Science Program have been evident since the 1920s. Our vision for Nebraska Wesleyan Science Program going forward is that we're going to create leaders for tomorrow's scientific endeavors, tomorrow's medical needs, for all of the things that can be served by young people, students of all ages prepared in the sciences.
Science is all about change. Science is about discovery. Science is about observation, and at the end of the day, it's all about change. And so a good science program makes good observers. Good observers, find differences, expand on those differences, and then make changes in the environment, or what the environment is.
So the faculty at Nebraska Wesleyan focus on the students, and we focus on teaching, and we want the students to be prepared for the next steps in their life.
If you're a scientist and being able to communicate with your colleagues and with the general public and publish papers and communicate the findings of your research, it really leads you to a leadership role and being an expert in your field.
Kids are having to do more interactive things in class where they're doing more critical thinking, and that's really what people are looking for when they get out of college, is to have the critical thinking skills they need to go on to professional school or to go on into business.
We learned new procedures every day, and probably 90% of the cases that I do now and procedures that I do now weren't being done when I was in training. And so you really do have to keep up on the learning mode, and that's one of the things that Nebraska Wesleyan really enabled me with. It was the ability to learn and taught me how to learn. And so I think that as well as interacting with people, have made it easier for me once I became a practicing general surgeon.
I see patients from locally, from nationally, from internationally, and I just feel like that ability to do all those different classes quirked my interest and has really expanded to be helpful in my day-to-day life.
In the universities across the country and across the world, scientific disciplines have been divided up more and more and more over these couple hundred years, but the big questions have defied those divisions. So what is the nature of life? What is the nature of energy? Those are questions that depend on everybody from different scientific perspectives working together.
Everything we do has a science basis for the most part, so you've got to have people who are skilled in that. And if we don't keep up, somebody else will come and fill our place.
We're a school like Nebraska Wesleyan, who is drawing kids from all over the country, many of whom actually then stay in Nebraska after they found out that the good life really is as good as everybody says it is. And as a consequence, we're sending kids back into the rural communities to provide health care, to be nurses, to do a variety of activities.
We give to Nebraska Wesleyan because we wouldn't be where we are without Nebraska Wesleyan. Nebraska Wesleyan invested in us, and that's what we're doing now, investing in them.
It's very important for Nebraska Wesleyan to invest in the science programs and maintain up-to-date facilities and laboratories. It's continually changing, and the need for healthcare professions is growing.
It's an exciting time in healthcare. I think both from being a nurse as well as thinking about the advances and the programs and things that Nebraska Wesleyan's got planned. I think it's just an amazing time, and Nebraska Wesleyan is truly part of our future and will be helpful in creating the future healthcare providers of this nation.
From my point of view, in terms of investing in the sciences going forward, all of us who care about Nebraska Wesleyan, what other choice is there but to sustain this incredible tradition? Think of it, it's almost 100 years now that Nebraska Wesleyan has had an outsized influence on science in this community, in Lincoln, in Omaha, across Nebraska, across the Great Plains, indeed nationally.